But just try to be mindful of that so everybody gets some time to show us what they've got, because it's going to be a really awesome, fun night. Are y'all ready for this? Yeah. So without further ado, I would like to turn the mic off. I would like to welcome to the stage our first performer, a stand-up comedian, Tom!
Oldest guy in the room, born in 1949. Do the quick math for those who are math challenged. I'll have my 70th birthday in November if I make it. It's been a wild ride, so I want to talk a little bit, tell you some stories about my mom and dad and growing up in the 50s. My dad was a J.C. Penney manager. My mother was a nurse, a cook, a seamstress, a psychologist, a coach, motivational speaker, and a great teacher. She had a PhD in momology, for sure. Mom was a great teacher. I'll give you a good example. And everything I'm telling you tonight is the truth, the whole truth, so help me beer. It's true. Ran in from outside. Mom was busy. She was always in the kitchen. She had 6 kids and a husband, so a family of 8. She spent a lot of time in the kitchen. And I was probably about 7 because my chin just came up to the countertop, and ran in, and she was busy doing 2 or 3 different things, and I happened to see there was a bowl close enough to the edge, and I got on my tiptoes and looked in, and it was a bowl of apricot halves, and apricot juice, and Mom was there busy doing something else, and I looked up and I said, "Mom, can I have a sip?" And she looked down and said, "What? Can I have a sip?" And she said, "Okay, just a little sip, just a little sip." And I tipped up the bowl, and she helped me steady the bowl, and I took a big gulp and let out a and then my brain registered, that wasn't apricot juice. And I said, "Mom, what was that?" And she said, "That was a dozen raw eggs I'm getting ready to put in this dish." Great teacher. Now, she knew, this is true, she knew it wasn't going to kill me. And she taught me a great lesson that sometimes it's that next question you should have asked. Never forgot that. Never forgot that. My dad, we'd go on summer vacations, and we were about 500 to 600 miles from each set of grandparents, and it was a logistic nightmare to try to hit both of them in a 2-week time. So the luggage was on top. We had a black station wagon that had a 450 air conditioner in it. That's 4 windows down, 50 miles an hour. That was your air conditioner. So we're loaded, as you can imagine, luggage is on top, and we are loaded to the gills on the inside. It was bench seats, no seat belts, but you didn't need any because you couldn't move. You know? We were in there. When Dad traveled, he was on a mission, and that was to get from point A to point B in the least amount of time possible. So Dad would stop if he needed gas, if he had to pee, or if it was time to eat. Those were the 3 things that got us to stop the car. So we kept passing water to Dad, hoping he would pee more frequently. We'd have to stop for gas, but the other thing we didn't, when we stopped for food, it was a family of 8, so we packed Vienna sausages, kind of that death meat, little hot dogs in a can. Yeah, crackers, bananas, no refrigeration required, and usually some kind of cookies, usually ginger snaps. The story on ginger snaps, Mom would always buy ginger snaps because if she bought Oreos, which we all wanted, they were gone before she finished unpacking the car with the groceries, you know? So she would never buy Oreos, she'd buy ginger snaps, and we'd say, "Mom, get us some cookies." The cookie jar is full of cookies. Ginger snaps lasted a long time. So that's what we took on the trip, you know? "You kids want a cookie?" Yeah. So over time, it's my favorite cookie now. Over time, I acquired it. I adjusted. Survival of the fittest, right? I adjusted. So we packed the car, And after a while, we get a little whiny, because he's on my side of the third of the seat. And you do the battles, and eventually, if we didn't pull over and just have some of the Vienna sausages, once in a while we get so cranky that Mom would say, maybe we should stop at a Dairy Queen. Oh. We never stopped at a Dairy Queen at home, so that was a big treat. So Dad would say, he'd be driving, and he'd say, okay, you kids, shut up and look for a Dairy Queen. So everybody stops fighting, everybody's got nose pressed against the window looking, and I'm sure the cars that passed us assumed that this man driving the car had abducted a whole family of kids. Dad, Dairy Queen, 25 miles. Okay. Dad, Dairy Queen, 15 miles. Okay. And eventually, Dairy Queen, Dad, Dairy Queen. And we'd pull in. And usually the oldest two would accompany Dad. There'd be an outside table. We'd go stick out an outside table and sit down. And Dad would bring the hamburgers and the Cokes. And Dad was a fast eater. He was a real fast eater. So he would wolf his down. Kids were shortly after him. Then go get a cone. And usually by the time we were finished with our cone, Mom was just about finished with her hamburger. Another lesson from Mom that I learned when I had kids. That she would take one bite and not chew it 20 times, she'd chew it 30 times and swallow. And another bite. Chew it 30 times and swallow. So we were all done with our cones. Dad was in the car, waiting to go. The kids would start to straggle to the car one at a time, and Mom was still there, having her hamburger. Then she'd go get her cone, and lick the cone one lick at a time. We're all in the car, starting to squirm and get antsy, and Dad's ready to go. Another lesson from Mom. What sane person wants to get back in a car with 6 screamy kids and a grouchy husband at this time, So I learned that valuable lesson when I became a parent, and I take my time when I eat and I'm traveling. Thank you very much.
Sister beams with girlish pride and a smile worn ear to ear. A lifetime's dream, a wedding scene, her precious day draws near.